Why do you like stories? What's your favourite time of day or evening to listen to a story? Do you prefer to listen to a story or to read a story? And what is your favourite story? Hello everyone, I'm Kathleen Pelly, host of storytelling podcast Journey with Story. Today I'm popping in to talk to all of you mums and dads and grown-ups. I'd really like your help so that I can keep bringing your children marvellous stories from all around the world. I wonder how you and your little listeners answered those questions about why you like stories and what some of your favourite stories are. When I go to schools to give author presentations to parents, teachers and children, I always like to share that teaching children to love stories, whether reading, writing, listening or telling them, is not just so that they can get better grades in school. Teaching children to love stories teaches them how to love and wonder, how to find joy and hope and compassion in this world. All that they need to lead good lives and to be our future heroes and leaders of the world. And what's more important than that? So, I would like you to consider, if you have not already done so, becoming a Patreon subscriber. There are 3 levels: fairies for $2, leprechauns for $5 and unicorns at $10, and there's some great resources at every tier. Obviously, hosting an ad-free podcast like ours involves certain expenses, such as paying our wonderful audio editor, our artist, and all of our website and IT helpers. We want to continue bringing you this podcast ad-free, and we would even like to add more content for you. But we can't do it without your help. So I'm asking you today to consider becoming a Patreon subscriber at any level. You can even be a free Patreon subscriber and just belong to our Patreon community. If you go to www.patreon.com/journeywithstory, you can find everything you need there. Oh, and for all of you who do become a unicorn patron before June the 5th, you will receive your very own Journey with Story t-shirt. And now you can listen to a little snippet from our bonus audio episode that all of our Leprechaun and Unicorn subscribers will have access to at the end of this month. It's called You Don't Know Jack, and it's told in the person of the giant from the fairy tale Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a great way to introduce children to the literary technique called point of view, which is also, of course, a life skill. Walking in another's shoes and experience it from his or her heart of mind. That's why I always like to say that literature is definitely linked to life. Now, thanks to all of you, all of our listeners, for your encouragement and support. And I shouted, E-I-O-Um, I'm going to sneeze. Any human here must leave, please. Nothing happened. The house was totally still until I sneezed. Sneezed so hard that I blew the door off the kitchen cupboard and out hopped the scrawny boy, who snatched my bag of gold and ran like a jackrabbit straight to that new vine, slid down it and disappeared. I was too tired to chase him, but I did cut that vine and hoped he couldn't come back. The next day I got up early and met the other members of my band to practice for a gig. As you might imagine, giants like me have trouble finding a musical instrument that's big enough for our large hands, but we managed. There were several upright basses, a huge timpani and a grand piano, but most of us played the instrument that gave the band its name, hot tuba. When I returned home, I leaned my tuba in a corner and dropped into my favourite chair. I needed a nap. But once again I felt a sneeze coming on. Once again I shouted, "E-I-O-Um, I'm going to sneeze. Any human here must leave, please." Once again nothing moved until I sneezed. This sneeze blew the curtains off the dining room windows, and I could see that scrawny little fellow who had been hiding there. He sped past me, snatched my Cuba, and slid down that darn beanstalk, which must have grown back. I cut it again, and this time I bent the top so it would grow down toward where it came from. I thought that trick had worked, because that puny thief didn't come back the next day. Then, one fine afternoon, I was sitting in den in my easy chair playing with big... Cheerio then. Join me next time for Journey with Stories.